What is up, everyone? How we doing? How's the audio? I don't know. I'm trying something different with I'm not wearing headphones, so I just have speakers coming through. So it's quiet. It's like weird. I'm hearing myself talk like almost too much. Strange. It feels weird. How we doing? Bots pew pew. Thank you. And Steelwind. How's it going? Keebnu, hola. We got a cool build today. I'm excited. So, and I apologize if my dog Howie's a little borky today. He's grumpy about something. Who knows? So, how we doing though? How's everybody doing? Today is the day. Rainbow Kappa, absolutely. I'll show the board off here in just a sec. Yeah, Saturday stream. Gotta love it. I'm a little annoyed because I was hoping to show off Analog Dreams on stream, but mail has been delayed like a bunch. I imagine with the pandemic, obviously, and then holidays, shipping is basically a nightmare. So yeah, that should be fun. I guess word to the wise of those who are shipping stuff for the holidays, I would ship them very soon. Because it might take a hot minute to get to where it needs to go. Goal is to get all your Christmas shopping done today? Heck yeah. So, before we get started, a quick shout to our awesome sponsors, SwitchMod.net, Dixie Mech Canon Keys, and Project Keyboard. They all do awesome stuff here for us, and that is why this is goofy. Hold on. My OBS didn't log into Twitch, but it's still streaming to the Twitch. At least I think it is. Who knows? But interesting is what I have to say as I sit here and log in to Twitch while I'm on Twitch. And there we are. I was wondering, all of my stuff, all of the info was being real goofy on my OBS. And I was like, I don't know why, but maybe there's just an update and it's all screwed up now. But now it works, so we're good. Imagine if you had to do all of your intro again because you weren't live. Awkward. That'd be very awkward. That'd be quite awkward. You're live, don't worry. Thank you, DD. Guys, if you don't know DD Declinus, go check out his channel. He does awesome stuff. So how we doing, everybody? What is everyone doing this fine Saturday? The first Saturday of December. We've got a really cool build. It's a stacked acrylic build, so I'm going to show this one off. This is not the one I'm building. This one is already... I have one thought. Fuck SMD LEDs? Absolutely. So this is... it looks really shiny right now. That's dope. This is my little mechs on deck, SMKeyboards. I am waiting for some screws. I hit them up for some different screws. I'm going to turn this into an all black build as I am going to part ways with the key set that I originally planned this with. And so stacked acrylic, it's an amazing... stacked acrylic is something that I think more people need to be aware of because it's a little dirty. I'm going to clean it off right now. But more people, I think, need to be aware of this because these boards are super awesome. If you like a flexi build, I wouldn't recommend it 100%. Cripsy, I don't know. Well, thank you for the follow. It's not going to be the best in regards to flexi boys. So if you want a flexi keyboard, I know you can get polycarbonate, but it just because stacked is going to be a little more stiff. And look at that, you can just clean it up. I could probably spray it, but you can see the cameras, all that fun stuff. So, but they're super inexpensive compared to a lot of keyboards. And I mean, it's perfect, right? It's just, you can get the color exactly what you want. You can match the keyboard. You can get the brass plate. This one's copper. The build today I'm doing is brass. Copper and brass are the same, essentially. It's just how they look. I just wanted something different, right? And you can do that. And that's the best part about these keyboards, is you can do something different. So, speaking of something different, so just put together my 3D printed 60p design. Hell yeah, dude. So speaking of something different, let's switch down to the overhead. We have got this. Oh, it kind of looks just, you know, like purple and white. Nope, it's rainbow. Hell yes. Whereas I would say to our mod, L yes. So rainbow, each piece is different. I like the little cutouts here. It just adds such a nice little, aesthetic to it. We've got a nice unicorn on there. Little custom engraving. This is for my amazing wife. She is in chat, Abracadaniel. So it's just really cool that this is a board that, one, at the time, I don't think he offers this. Normally I hit him up. He's a friend. He's a good friend of mine, and this was not given to me. This was not, we purchased this. This is not a sponsored build by any means. So I think, with this build, it's cool because you get something unique and you get something that is specifically for you. Going to put GMK Pride on it? No. I think Midnight Rainbow will eventually go on this. For now, I think we're just putting minimal on it to make it look cool. But yeah, the cutout is such a nice touch. It takes it to that next step, right? So the only thing I have done to this is, with all boards, I like to put the bump-ons on early. We're gonna pop this bad boy open, snag the plate. Keep Newbie's making a board for me, and I'm so excited. Yeah, and you get like that cool experience, right? It's like they're making a board for me. The Mexon deck board, which is now out of camera, that was for me, right? That was something that I was like, hey, could you put this logo on there? If you have your own logo, if you have a picture you want, if you want your name on it, whatever, all that, you get to do that with these boards. So just a really cool idea. So with some of these, you do kind of, if you at least get the screw in the right place. These can be a little tricky to put back together, but nothing that anyone couldn't do. If you can build an IKEA shelf, you can probably put one of these together. SMKeyboards will be making custom cases to match my keycap group buy. So excited to see what he comes up with. Yeah, that's just the best part about this, right? You can really go custom, and they're lookers, right? And the only reason I don't use this that much is I have a lot of other boards that I like using. I used this at work for a while my OSA was out of commission for a little bit. I don't use mine as much as I would like, but I do pull it out from time to time. It's a fun board. But for someone who maybe only has one, or maybe you want a couple different boards, but to me, it's one of the perfect ones for this is the Alice layout boards, because if you do have to provide your own PCB. I picked up, he actually helped me pick up a KBD67 because he was buying some for himself. So shout out to him. Once again, I paid for it. It's KBD67 PCB. It's cool. I didn't realize these were in VIA, so it's already set up in VIA. Nothing special about the PCB, but Type-C, fantastic. I know that KBD fans is really up their game. There are really not a lot of bad PCBs anymore. There are PCBs that don't use VIA, which is not the end of the world. It's just not ideal. but let's see if we can kind of get these back on. And these are from, I think these are from Laser Boost, if I remember. So it patinas pretty easily, but I kind of like that it shows off its age well, and I do enjoy that. Let's see. Laser engraved unicorn on the back. Yes. Finally solved my problem since I couldn't hear you. Hey, Max on deck, and hello, DD Klein. How you guys doing? I'm doing good, Steelwin. I'm doing really good. I'm excited. Now, like, you can see my face right here. I'm excited to get this built. I felt really bad because it showed up Monday, and my wife goes, "Heck yeah! So when are we building it?" I was like, "Saturday." It was unfortunate at the time, but the long wait is over. Am I the only one that thinks VIA is lacking when it comes to layers and macros and such when compared to QMK? I mean, that's the trade-off, right? It's ease of use versus how much customizing do you want to put in it. So yes, I do think that there are things to come with VIA, but for someone, if you're just doing some simple stuff, VIA is perfect. And I feel like a large part of the community is probably just doing some simple layers. I feel like a lot of them are not doing crazy macro setups or anything, like I said. But that does not mean that it would be nice to have. And that's, I think they're moving forward. I know the macros were added relatively recently. So this thing is heavy. This plate, just the plate alone is really heavy. So, I mean, the rest of the build is, this plate is heavier than the rest of the build. That's another good thing. If you don't want some super duper heavy board, then, this is another great option. My lovely wife, I told her, because we were waiting on keycaps and they didn't show up. So we took the keycaps off of her Bower that are going to go on this, and when I handed her, I was like, here, just use the Baka for a few hours. She was like, good God, why is this so heavy? So, but we're going to get some stabs going. We're just putting, this is the last of the, these are the last of the V1 Durox stabs that I have. I'm actually out of stabs now. I know Cyrus has some to give me, but should be good. And adding purple. One of her favorite colors is purple, so why not? Why not? What is that screwdriver set? This is the Nanch. So I think the word Nanch is on it. Yeah. So here. It's like $20. We went over this on the holiday gift guide. So. I have not run into a keyboard that does not use one of these. And it's also just good to have. They've got the screws for, I can fix my glasses with them, which is a nice touch. So highly recommend. The other one that I know Cyrus uses is the, Cyrus, you're here. You say it. I don't want to mess it up because I feel like I'm going to inappropriately mess it up. Though, is it the wow stick? Thank you. All right. I didn't want to inappropriately say something incorrect. But the wow stick, if you want kind of the electronic screwdriver feel to it, that'll be something that's a little bit more expensive, but you're going to get a lot of the same uses out of it. And it's got a couple cool other little like knickknacks and stuff. So pop this, get to some lubing with 205 grade 0 on these stabs. Going to be a relatively heavy lube, as I usually build the boards that my wife likes in a similar way to the boards that I like. So who's that? Yep. And I lube these, they're 3204 on the actual, and I put 74 gram springs from Novel Keys are going to be on these Holy Pandas. I think 74 gram for the Holy Pandas is like peak where it's like, it's good, it's heavy, it's snappy, but it's still really tactile. If you start going above that, you start losing a lot of tactility. So should be a good time. Should be a good time. So how's everybody's holiday shopping going? How's, you know, what do we guys get? What's the big gift people are getting other people? If you can say, if they're like in the chat, then maybe don't like ruin the surprise, but like what's the big gift? If you have kids, what's the big like toy this year? What's the big, you know, I remember we talked about Jeffrey the giraffe from Toys R Us. They always release like the gift guide. It's like the top 10 holiday gift toys. And my parents hated when we got a hold of that because most of that stuff, typically we were just like, just get us Pokemon cards and video games. Haven't even started yet? There you go, dude. Respect. Shop the deals. Shop the deals. I have purchased most gifts. I get paid one more time before Christmas, and that's usually like, I always like to hit people with gift cards and stuff at the very end, because one, you can, digital gift cards, you can wait until the last second, and two, like, while gifts are nice, if I'm getting someone, you know, one or, you know, two or three things as opposed to just one thing, it's always nice to throw a few gift cards in there, give them the freedom of choice. So for anybody new to building, I'll show you how I lube some of these. So typically you just take your stab, you've got one side right here, one side on the other. These stabs, you do not have to clip anything on the bottom. I don't have any GMK to show, but we're just coating. I'm doing this a little heavier than most, but you just coat the sides there, you know, clean up anything, and then you just turn it around and do it on the other side. You can do that as lightly or as heavily as you want, but know that if you do it quite heavy, and you're using light springs, you may run into issues of it returning. But anything above 70 grams, you're pretty much okay. If you're in the like 90 grams, you could probably go even harder. Like this, so this board right here is 98 gram creams, and the amount of lube I put on them was like borderline illegal. But it's smooth. That space bar is smooth. You can just I never hit sponsors earlier, but thank you, those are my sponsors, because that's when I realized I wasn't logged in. We have amazing sponsors: switchmod.net/mechsondeck. You can go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com for Dixie Mech Project keyboards, mechsondeck.project.link, canonkeys.com/mechsondeck for Canon keys. They're all selling some great stuff right now, so check them out. And then we also have our awesome partners, Zap Cables, Type Beast, and Smith & Rune. With those websites there, I will give more info on them later. So let's zoom in. This is for the housing of the stabilizer. Once it focuses, there we go. So we're just going on the inside, and we're just coating the inside of it. And we just set it to the side. So it's pretty simple. So for those new to building, there is no this is the way of lubing. As long as it works and it feels good and sounds good to you, then lube away as you choose. This is just how I do it. So by all means, we urge you to experiment on how you should lube. You know, experiment with different stabs. That's why we really like hot swab or hot swap boards, because you can sit there and you can pop the switches out real fast, change up how you lube the stabs. They're pretty easy to clean as well. And there that goes right into the, so if you want a little extra lube, just drop that stabilizer right in to the lube. Gives it really, really smooth. Nice and easy. But went to the store today as well, because the one thing that we always forget almost every year is you kind of look up and you go, we don't have any wrapping paper. So we went to the wrapping paper store. We went to, by the way, if you have a Dollar Tree near you, I mean, maybe if you guys want designer wrapping paper, go for it. But I mean, 30 square feet for $1, you know, cheap out on the wrapping paper. It's literally going to get ripped into shreds. And it's the cheapest there than it is anywhere else. So Dollar Tree is lit. Dollar Tree is lit. It's good for snacks. It's good for, like, another good one is, like, instead of buying Febreze, they have their stuff there that we really like. You know, a lot of that cleaning supplies, for the most part, you know, it's going to be like 7 times cheaper, and I always drop something all the way off the table. It's one of those places, it's like, yeah, you know, it's the Dollar Tree. It's kind of got that stigma of like, oh, well, you can only get cheap stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of Dollar Tree, right? To get cheap stuff. But a lot of the things you don't need to be spending a bunch of money on. And one of those things, in my opinion, is wrapping paper, because literally it's supposed to get ripped into pieces. You're supposed to just tear into it. So, yep, there's my soapbox. So let's put these together. Sure, all right. But so now this is just kind of how I lube. I do it in stages. Find what is best for you, though, because what is best for me is not always going to be what is best for you. And sometimes it's best to check if the wire goes in too, because then you get like put into it, like really it can get a little goofy when you're trying to insert the stab wire while they're all lubed and ready to go. But Daiso, so we have a Daiso near us, but I don't think we've ever been. Yeah, this is the wrong way. I know, so when Osiris, Abracadaniel, and I all lived together, they were like building one right next to us, but it was like, I think it opened like the week after we moved out, or the week of when we moved out, so it's not like, you know, we weren't like looking to go buy a bunch of stuff, and we never went, and I kind of wish we had at least once, because I know like Elle loves that place. It's open now. Yeah. I know like they've got I know they have a great selection of like snacks and stuff. So, and I mean, I love snacks. I think most people enjoy snacks. I think you'd be crazy not to enjoy snacks. So on this, I won't zoom in. We're just coating up to about right here with lube. Anything that's going to be touching the plastic. If you do too much, especially with the V1s, if you do too much like right here, kind of right past the bend, you can run into the wires popping out. A relatively easy fix if you know how to maneuver around the PCB with the Spix. Thank you for the follow. If you know how to maneuver with, what's it called? Some tweezers, you can kind of poke up through, and you can poke up through and kind of like jam the wire back in. But it's just kind of easy. You just want to avoid like touching right here too much, just so you don't have to deal with that like ever. Because I don't wish the people that are doing that. So the real tweezer or the Verge tweezer? I guess I don't remember the Verge tweezer. You mean zip ties? I mean, you could. I mean, you could zip tie it right down. So, yeah. And camping, I mean, while it is now camping after being, for many years, being on my top #1 set, only to be dethroned by another green set in GMK Ursa. It looks good on the board right here, right now, but as you can kind of tell here, the white is such a warm white, and a lot of boards are a cool white, so it clashes awkwardly, and it's just a hard set to match on a board. But I have found some cool Cerakote colors, which here I'll actually, once I'm done lubing these stabs, once I've done lubing these stabs, I will pull out the Cerakote color for the future camping build. There was a video The Verge did a few years ago about how to build a PC, and the guy in the video called Zip Ties Tweezers. All right, well, I've watched that video. I guess I don't remember. I mean, him calling Zip Ties Tweezers was not the worst thing he did in that video, so. But wrapping this up, yeah, completely. That entire video was just like borderline a disgrace. And then I think there was something where like Bitwit made fun of it, and then The Verge like copyright striked them or something. And that was really dumb, that whole thing, because he was just like, he's just making a parody, and they were like going after him. Anybody invent a good Frankenswitch lately? I have not tried, honestly. You know, Cyrus and I, we've got some switches coming in that we want to try, that we're like kind of excited to mess around with, but I haven't ordered switches in a long time. Blueberries were the most recent. The blueberry stem and a panda housing's all right. It's pretty good, but honestly, it's not. There's not a huge difference between. There's not a huge difference between blueberries and pandas and all that, so it's like interchanging those are kind of just a waste of money in my opinion. Osiris wants to try. It's like the Moyu Blacks with kiwis. We don't have kiwis, but I know that's something that he is aiming to do, moving towards. Because they're if I remember correctly, the ones that I tried, or I think someone made them, they're almost exactly like Zycos. So, and if they're exactly like Zycos, then hell yeah, I'm gonna have anything where I can comfortably go, no, they're the same board, but they're different. How did that get stuck in my hand? So we're just screwing down the stabilizers. And then we will, I'm going to show off some Cerakote colors because I really, really enjoy There's two that I really like. This is no joke. I build 65% so seldomly that I look to the far right of the PCB. Cool. I looked to the far right of the PCB and was like, there's no enter here. I looked over here and was like, where's the hole for the enter? But this might be... fourth or fifth 65% I've built since at least it's starting next on deck. I've built two more before that, the Tada 68 and the Zephyr. But I know I've built the Bower, I had a Tofu 65, a Discipline 65, and now this. I can't think of another 60. Usually 65% go to Osiris, so. And it's not, you know, we talk about, it's kind of a meme at this point. I don't personally hate 65%. It's just not something that I would buy. But you know, you get for the content, you gotta hate it, right? You gotta go super against it. And on top of that, you know, when a cool 65% board comes in, Osiris likes 60. It's one of his favorites. So it's like, why would I take a board that he really likes? And when I'm like, I don't really care. I could never see myself owning that. And Osiris is like, I want to play with that for like a week or two. Like, there's no point in me taking it. So. A man of 65%. If I do a Saturn 65, I'll send that to you. There you go. If you're making a 65%, throw it towards Osiris. Just throw it at him. Just knock on his door and then just yeet it at him. Moyu Black with Kiwi stem. No Kiwi bottom housing. Maybe, I don't remember. So, getting this last screw in. And then I guess I should probably test these before I actually move on to anything else. Like I said, today, these are drop pandas. So spring swap, lube with 3204. Springs lubed with kind of my concoction bowl of GPL 105, 3203, 3204. Just kind of throw stuff in there and swirl it around. So for the springs, and then I heavily lubed the housings with 3204, and I didn't actually touch the stems. So we'll find out if these are good. I guess I should probably mount these in the plate, huh? That would probably be ideal. Plus, like, these don't even sit in the PCB because they're not those 5-pin. I want those 5-pin. I want those 5-pin PCB or switches. Oh man, this might be a problem. The plate doesn't fit. I might have to make quite the cut here in a second. So this is interesting. So let's zoom in. This is nothing against SMKeyboards. I don't even think laser boost. Probably just a weird happening. So there's a fix to it because I do have a Dremel. But this cut right here is literally like a millimeter too, if you can see. I'll try and pick this up. It's just a smidge too far to the left. So unless I bend everything, I'm not going to be able to install this properly. Unless I go, I think I could probably go 6.25 if I even have a wire for that. 1 second, I will be right back. I'm gonna look at 2 different options for this because I either find a new stab wire or I find my Dremel and go to town on this plate for like 5 minutes. So be right back. I clicked the wrong button. And there I am. All right, I'm back and I am no longer muted because Scuff Stream, man, Scuff Stream already. Let's go. So I don't hold anything against SM for this. I think that it could have been an honest mistake. It could have been laser boost problem. I don't know, but this is something where, you know, I just need to send a PM. So I grabbed a 6.25 wire. This is probably from a GMK set or maybe from the C3 stabs. Am I still muted? Hopefully I'm not. Should be okay. So I think this is actually, I believe, you good now? This is from the C3 stab kit. So if this doesn't work, then it becomes a much more interesting problem. And this is something that, you know, as I've talked about before, you don't need to panic when something goes wrong. You just keep going. You keep figuring out the next solution. Because now if you're going, this would be not bueno if this was like a wind keyless. But this plate is meant to support multiple layouts. So, and on top of that, you know, don't be afraid. I'm not going to tell you Dremel all your boards, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to just start hacking away at something, right? It's not that scary. All right, boom. Nice and in there. So, we avoided a crisis. What up, Chewy? What's up, Hellbent? How's it going, man? Got to see Mr. Hellbent the other day for about 2 minutes. For secrets. This is no joke. I was letting him borrow some lube, and I told my coworker, I was like, yeah, I gotta meet some person I met on the internet so I can give him a bunch of lube. In the keyboard world, there's nothing wrong with that sentence. Just saying. So let's test this stuff out. I put that in the wrong hole. There it is. I can't think of honestly, I cannot think of the last time I used a 6.25 spacebar. There's nothing against it. I've just been using I have just been using 7U for so long because I like the win keyless on most things. Stabs are good. So now we're going to put some anchor switches in. I'm going to spend 6 months trying to figure out how to do this part of the board, and then we're going to move on. But I can put my lube up. So there we go. There we go. What are people expecting? What key sets? What key set this month are you looking to get? What's something that you are excited for? Anything shipping soon? What switches are these? These are Holy Pandas, specifically the ones from Drop, with spring soft with 74 grams from Novel Keys. We are going to be doing split backspace because split backspace is the way. Drop Pandas, correct. Cool Kids start shipping today. Hell yeah. That's pretty dope. I don't actually remember. Do you want stepped or non-stepped caps? So on that caps lock, do you want the stepped? Do you want like the angle or do you want it straight? Straight? All right. She does not want the Jeep. Stepped be fancy. That's what Elle says. Preference. So, all right, let's get this. So what I like to do, just kind of, I usually will do corners, but I need to like figure this out. But for the preference, I like to kind of put your corners through the middle, and so what we're going to do is we're actually going to solder these switches in, make sure they're really in there nice so that everything's flush, and then we can easily put in the rest of the switches. What's nice about this, so Holy Pandas don't have those 2 extra pins on the bottom that prevent any weird sliding. They do now on the Novel Keys ones, which I'm really excited to get my hands on. If this can focus, that would be lovely. There we go. So there's no pins on that compared to something like this where it's got those 2 extra pins. For those who don't know, those are there to align the switch. For this plate doesn't have a whole lot down here, and right here is the only time where I'm a little worried. Because this plate does not support ISO, you don't have to worry about your backspace, which is nice. 5 pin is definitely better than 3 pin. So, moving forward, we're still putting things up. Soldering iron's ready to go. I solder at 660. No stab on backspace, no. So what I do, kind of like right here, so you can actually see it. I keep my pipe key, so pipe key is typically right here. You take your pipe key and you move it up there. This is my tilde, or this is, this is tilde. This says tilde, but both of these are actually escape keys. Secrets. And then you just put your backspace right here, so when you're typing, it's easier. Boom. And there's more, it's symmetrical, right? It's 15. It's like symmetrical, not really, symmetrical. So, Amaze Draven. If you have any other questions, by all means. I love answering questions. Delphin, by the way, I got you, bud. Delphin Solder Shrine. Still there. Never getting rid of it. More keyboard tips. Control plus backspace deletes the whole word rather than a letter. Noted. I remember it, but then I forget it like almost immediately. So best when you start, just hit the soldering iron a little bit. Get a nice little coat on there first before you move on. While I can tell these pads are awesome for soldering, I can also tell you that desoldering these pads look like they could be lifted easily. So as a one-time use PCB, fantastic PCB already, I can tell. As a PCB that will withstand the test of time over multiple desolders, I don't think so. So those fumes, I'll get the fan out whenever things really start heating up. So just getting these anchor switches in. I never showed off the Cerakote stuff. I'll do that in just a moment. It'd be like that sometimes. Is this a KBD67 PCB? Yes, it is. So pretty standard stuff. Did I get that one? Didn't get that one. Already missing PCBs. Amez Draven, thank you for the follow, dude. Dude or woman, or whatever you choose to identify as. Thank you for the follow. Huff them fumes, you got to. So this is one of the best gifts I've received in a hot minute is this fan. So if you get yourself something like this, let me make a quick adjustment. So this fan, it was like $10. I think bought at like just Amazon or something. Honeywell. And it's got a little USB charge, but it's also got it's also battery powered. I use the battery so I can kind of move it, and it can just sit right on your desk. So what I like to do is I just put it right here, blows the fumes that way. I would love to do this where it blows the fumes away from me, but there is not a lot of space, and I don't like working around. So you kind of, if you can angle it like that, you're golden. Won't turn it on quite yet. It does suck the battery up. Like, it uses a lot, but it's a perfect little fan. Favorite switch? A Zyko. The Zyko is a Franken switch. It is a Zeal V2 bottom, a Holy, and a Panda top, and a Halo stem. And it's like super tactile and sounds really good. They are a bit pricey, but they are finicky. I wouldn't recommend. My favorite like switch you can just buy is a Holy Panda. So I think Holy Pandas sound really good. They're still very tactile. It's just all around. It's a fun switch. I'm excited to try the Glorious Panda Osiris and I picked up. Like 70 something each. So that will be a fun experiment. I have heard very good things from people that I trust. So we'll find out. We'll see. But some of these I did not clasp all the way. Discovering that. I'm excited too because honestly, these boards sound really good. These boards have a very like thocky sound to them, and sound better than a lot of boards that are a lot more expensive that I've heard. I don't know, they resonate really well. So these boards sound really good. I love whenever my wife's kind of like, I want like a new board or something, and we talk about switches and stuff. And when I know it's going to sound good, I get excited because then I get to listen to it all day. And like her Bauer with Zycos sounds amazing, and I just listen to that all day. So it's fantastic. As these go in. But here's what I was going to do. So we got these Cerakote chips, which I'm excited about. My wife I got the green and brown ones because I'm trying to match. These are not Zycos, these are Holy Pandas. So the green that I'm going with is this for a camping style board. These look very similar, but this in light changes colors like drastically, which I kind of like. This is a lot more flat. And then I got this cool little, let's see if it'll focus, probably not. But it's kind of got that sparkly, like metallic look to it. This is kind of a bronze. It's going for camping. And then the one this is the one that my wife really liked, this crushed orchid, kind of a lavender. But this color is amazing. I think this is so it's called Polar Blue. I think if you're looking, Polar Blue Cerakote, if you're looking for a board that's going to match like Arctic, this looks really good. This blue looks amazing. And then another color, which Lang's here, I'm glad, is Black Cherry. This looks amazing. In person, this has this very deep maroony purple, closer to purple. This is just a fantastic color. Like I want something like this. Lightly red. It's very plum, but it's not red. It's not as red. It's way like, think of like the iron plum you've seen, and just add a little more blue to make it a little more purpley than red. I think the iron plum is a little more red, where this is a little more purple. This is amazing. And then for those wondering, this is the Robin's Egg Blue that a lot of people really like. Bright purple and sky blue. But this I'm going to find out something to do with this, because this blue is just so good looking. This polar blue. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's going to be awesome. So there's the Cerakote colors. Where do you get the Anno samples? Cerakote? I think it's like, if you just Google Cerakote at Cerakote, if you just Google that, you're good. Also, the USPS guy just pulled up, and I'm hoping that like half of our stuff's about to get delivered. Wouldn't that be dope if Analog Dream showed up while I'm streaming? Sorry, I'm creeping on my USPS guy. So, but Cerakote, you can get, like, you just pay shipping. It does not look like I'm getting anything. It is just a folder. But you can get like 10 samples. I think it's 10 samples for $11 or $12. So I heard some Analog Dreams is showing you. It's delayed. It's just getting delayed and delayed. So, and shipping is being super slow right now. I want it to, but I got excited when I can look up. I might be able to like run to the mailbox and back. But no, at Cerakote you can get 10 for it's like $12 to ship, and then I think it's like 40 cents per extra over 10 per color you want. But honestly, at 10 you're probably at 10 if you need more than 10 you might, I guess maybe you're trying to do it for multiple boards. but if you have like a set in mind, there's probably only like 6 to 8 that are realistically going to work. So for $12, I mean, just don't eat out one day and boom, you can get a good sample. And they're big enough to put caps on, so like to lay cats on. So. Got an emote from Bean Lover 425 for the 4-month sub. Thank you, Bean Lover. I enjoy beans too, but they can mess my stomach up sometimes. So one quick second. Nope. I thought I was going to be pumped for like a random USPS screw up. One day. Bot Sift. Hello, hello. Welcome back. So, getting close to getting all these bad boys in. We have 70 switches, which should be plenty for this. And I say plenty, I might have like one left over, but that's fine. Can you use aqua xylate bottoms for... Yes, you can. Because the xylate part comes from the stem, not the actual housing. So I've used it. So there's a build, you can look it up, the Wolfmark WM1. You just like Google that with Mex on Deck in it. I'm sure you'll find it, but that had the aqua xylate bottoms with a panda top. Now, there are some new xylates that weren't the aqua xylates. Or maybe I think there was like a new run of xylates where it didn't work as well. A buddy of mine told me. So, Chewy, did I get botanical? No, and I'm probably going to regret it for the rest of my life. But I'm running out. I've got a lot of key sets coming in, and I don't have a lot of keyboards coming in. So, we'll find out if that works or not, but I think that's going to be a set that I will be happy to admire from afar, and really like it on other people's boards, but not one that I necessarily have to have. So I'm sure it is going to be a solid board, but it is not something I am dying to have. So this bottom row is now interesting because, yeah, it is insane how many key sets are going to be circulating. So this bottom row has got me scratching my head a little bit on the right side because I don't know if I am going to be using the right caps, or if it's even enough. So we'll find out. SMKeyboards was one of my first builds. Hell yeah, dude! I love these. I love these boards, man. They're fantastic. Let's put the spacebar on. And then can this even be enough? Yeah. Well, let's throw 1U. So is this enough? Yep, it's 2. So just gotta not drop stuff. But too late. I'm the king of dropping crap on the ground. This one goes there. For that, and then this one I think there for that. Boom. Did anyone hit on the 350s today? I didn't go for the breads. I did get some new shoes today. Really pumped. Got some new Jordans, the Tinker Hatfield 3s, which I'm very excited about. So all right, those can all go over there. But no, I didn't go for the Yeezys. I don't know. I kind of want to pick up some carbons. I think the carbon Yeezys look really clean, and then there's a set of navy ones that are coming out in March that I'm probably going to go for. But obviously that's in March. So, and apparently Yeezys are supposed to start dropping more and more shoe. Like they're trying to expand how many they're releasing at a time. So hopefully they do. Picked up some Mocha 3s. My man. Those are sick. Those are clean. So, now we're soldering. Delphin, if you're in chat, my guy. My solder homie. Once again, I solder at Kimchi Jody Boy with the all A's. How you doing, man? You got any like spicy news for me, Kimchi? Or are we just vibing, man? Solder time. Hell yeah, dude. So like I said, 660 degrees. It's a little hot. You don't need to go that high. You can go the Lang method and go 661 degrees because he likes to solder 1 degree hotter than mine, which is fine. You know, it's okay. I don't take it personally at all. You know, I haven't slept in like 6 weeks, but you know, it's fine. It's totally fine. No, but guys, check out Kimchi Jody Boy. He's got a fantastic stream. If you want to watch a man take 9 hours to build a keyboard. Shots fired. I work on mobile right now, but Spoosy News, What size tip is that? On the soldering, I have no idea. The one that it comes with. Zap hit me up one day and he was like, hey, I'm ordering like a couple dozen soldering tips for my soldering iron. Do you want some? Because I'm going to have too many in like the pack that he had. And so he sent me like 5. So SP stars are lit. Does that count? I have no idea what that means. My average stream is 8.5 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right. Kimchi, I almost want to get you barley corns. I just want to get you enough barley corns to where all you do is you start to finish barley corns until you literally pass out. That's the stream that I want to see. Is just through hole full-size layout boards. And you just keep going until you quit the hobby or pass out. Death by barley corn. I'm really excited to get this thing built. I always love building my wife a new board. This will be like the 4th one that I've built specifically for her. I've had a couple, you know, where it's like you change the keycap sets and that kind of does make it feel better. Maybe it's a hot swap that you swip out, but through hole full size, yep. Oh, yeah, effortless. So it's still what? That's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 switches short of a full size. You memes are kind of curious. I mean, talk to Keebnoob and Didi are building one. That didn't go all the way in. What is happening with this switch? $74-gram strong fingers. These are great, man. This board right here is 98-gram linears. And it's oof. Like they're creams, but they're creamy creams. But I mean, look at me. I got sausage fingers, man. But won't Gary at TKL? I have no idea what that means. I don't speak kimchi Jody boy. I'm still extremely lost, kimchi, at what's happening. Anyway, moving on. So, guys, we did talk about the gift giving guide, and I want to show this thing off in action because you can't really see it. It's off camera, but this thing is the greatest, and it's $10 because it's just bent steel, and it's a fantastic little device that just holds your solder there perfectly. So, and it makes it look cool. It's cleaner, right? Although I'm starting, man, I've been hacking away at this thing. I got this soldering spool. This is no shit. So this spool of solder is 1.5 years old. It's done over 50 builds and it's still going strong. And 001 Anthony gave me this spool of solder as payment for helping him move. That's no joke. He bought me lunch and he bought me a spool of solder. And I helped him move like a bed and a couch from one apartment to the other. And honestly, I did it because I was just sitting there and I was like, well, I have nothing better to do today. And it took like 2 hours. So that's another thing. Buy some nice solder because this will. Love the desk mat, my dude. Thank you. This is a proto. We have to get another run sent out, so it'll be a little bit before it goes on sale. But don't worry, I will be. It is created by Jinly Bean off of an idea that I had. It's a Zyko desk mat. I had an idea for this with like the stained glass and let her go with it. So the amazing designer and artist Jinly Bean has everything to do with this one. But getting these soldered in. So let's see. Dee never bought a TKL before though. Didi's never bought a TKL. That's interesting. I mean, he's a 40s user, so that would make sense. Bro, I'm about to make Zyko's Aquaxylants count as bottoms or not. Aquaxylants do count as bottoms. It works. Good luck. Be safe with them. Make sure the top housing and the bottom housing are 100% closed. They are difficult. Zykopath. I like that. And my good friend Tarusen noted that, you know, while I can't 100% say, hey, do this because it could be a dental problem, you can actually just chomp down on those things and get them to 100% securely go. So if you like to live dangerously, you know, that's one way of doing it. So one thing I do really like about this PCB, and I've talked about this multiple times, and from KBD fans doing it. I'm going to show this off really quick. Let me hide my face. They put what it is, right? 9876. Why they label what the hole is. Caps lock, tab. I love when PCBs do that. Hold on. Whoa, wrong screen. Scuff stream, no big deal. So I love when a PCB maker labels the backs. It just makes it easier, and it's like PCBs don't need to look cool. They don't need to have some fancy design. It's cool when they do, but like when they don't, it's not something that I'm like, man, I wish this PCB had a cool design on it. You don't film Zycos, do you? No, I don't even know if you could. Ready, what do you think? Zycos all blue with an aquamarine Fiel R5 and a brass. That will sound amazing. So you can go to someone, I'm sure, if someone can help, post it. So I built the first big Zyco board that I did was with my Fiel. And I'm sure you could Google like Fiel Zyco, or not Google, but if you YouTube Fiel Zyco, it's like the second video. And you know, hey, I'll even try and find the timestamp where we start typing on it. It's around 1 hour and 52 minutes and 12 seconds. You can hear a Fiel with Zycos. Chewy, you made me like 60% again. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. 60% are great boards. If y'all are able to film Zycos, I would be astounded. Yeah, that... Kimchi, you've made Zycos, right? I am fairly certain you have. If you're able to without just ruining every single Panda top, that would be nothing but impressive. It does not need them even a little bit. Chewy, Saudi. I've made like 3. There you go. Never again. Absolutely. I've got I've talked to CFT about getting a Romeo because I want to make I want a 40% board, and I want to make a Romeo with Zycos. I think that would be a really fun little build, because that'd be good for like distance traveling. Like, I want to show you what a Zyco is at a meetup that will happen in 3 years, but I don't want to take my Keycolt on an airplane. Then I can show you how a Zyco would feel in a kit like the Romeo. So and I'll probably get an SM keyboard to go with it. I just need to get a 40s kit of a keycap set. So what is everyone doing tonight? I know hopefully you're not going out to the clubs or anything like that, because we still need to be socially distant. Any games you guys are playing, movies you plan on watching? I would love to talk about The Mandalorian, but I don't want to give any spoilers to some people. So why do Zycos not work with hot swap? In short, Zelios, on the top housing of a Zelio, they have these little blockers that prevent the pins that you solder from falling out, where Panda's housings are just like, you can't pull the pin out or push the pin through. So Pandas don't have that blocker there on their top housings. So it's basically, there's nothing to prevent the pins from pushing into the switch. If the pins push into the switch, it will bend the leaf and it will turn it into a linear switch. So if you don't really want to have any resistance on those pins until it's soldered. So if you're putting it into a hot swap, you kind of have that, it kind of squeezes in. And so if you are even a fraction off, it will just, instead of squeezing in, the pin will just crush into the body and ruin the switch. So that's why I don't recommend them on hot swaps. And that's why I don't recommend making hundreds of Zyco boards. I've only got one. The Romeo would be 2. I used to have 2 built, and then I just realized I only wanted 1, and I was okay with that. like one for day-to-day use. The 40s would be just like a fun, you know, it's kind of like a fun board to have, but not. I wouldn't want to or need to use it all the time. You know, I am in the hobby deep enough that where some boards are kind of for show. You know, like while I do use my SM keyboard, it was always meant to kind of be a fun little gesture. Like I can't, you know, unless some diehard Mechs on Deck fan really wants a board with our logo on it, this is going to be something that I'm never going to get rid of because it's kind of a memory. It's like, oh, 60% when keyless. It's got the Mechs on Deck logo engraved into the plate on the back too. Like, this is just a cool little memory in it, and it looks great. It looks great, and when I want to use it, I can. So I made some Zycos for the squid. Hell yeah. I'm a diehard Mechs on Deck fan. I have the CYO bear. There you go. I have a CYO bear too. But just because I use mine more as a showpiece does not mean that if I was kind of getting into the hobby now, I think SM would be one of the ways I would go. I would pick something else up. I'd pick up like a Fiel. If I had to like start over and get something where I know I could comfortably get, would go for a Fiel and then probably an SM keyboards, and I'd be happy with those two. So the Mechs on Deck CY, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got one over there. I think I've got two. So the CYO bear, he did a great job on that one. Wrapping up soldering here in just a moment. And then we'll be slapping this bad boy together. The last thing I need for my squid is Night Runner. Hell yeah. Night Runner's a dope set, and that would be effective since Blind Assassin designed co-designed. I missed almost an entire row. Awesome. But Blind Assassin obviously did a lot of the legwork for the squid as the co-designer. So that would be a nice little tribute to the full experience. A keycap set. See, if you put Zycos in it, then you get a switch that I created, a keycap set that Blind Assassin made, and a board that the two of us made. You don't know what set you'll put on yours yet? There you go. I mean, did you get black or gray? Because I kind of, I went with neutral colors because, those go really well with a lot of things. The irony is I went with like my personal squid was going to be black, but now it's actually going to be a different color. Because I guess no surprise. The green I showed earlier, I'm going to put camping because Modern Dolch Light is most likely going on this TKL. I think that will look really clean. But that green is going to go on my squid so I can put camping on it. And I think that'll be really clean. And I don't know what switches I'll put on it yet. If these Glorious Pandas work out, I think that'll be a great combo. So let's test her on out. Make sure some of these switches, one of these switches is probably going to be acting goofy because it is not set up that way. So I'll have to go in VIA and fix it. Got the rainbow glow. Would expect nothing less from my wife, who would want that. So let's see. Let's go to EK switch hitter. There it is. Let's try it out. We got our escapes working. 9 over. Backspace working. Caps is working. Everything else, we got our shifts working. Arrows work. Page up, page down. Delete, tilde, control, alt. So both of these are alt, but they're both registering because I wired these, menu and control. These are all just kind of janky because of that, but they work. So, and then spacebar, of course. So the the keyboard works. So, as I like to do, oh, apiary, rating with a party of 187. Okay, apiary, thank you. Up, knocking my fan over, just knocking stuff over. You know, I always give apiary shit for everything, but naturally, you know, I get nervous in front of apiary, right? So apiary, it's not really put together quite yet, but this is my SM keyboard that I have made for my wife. It is rainbow themed, Rady Bears, absolutely, with a nice unicorn on the back. I told apiary, I went into her stream earlier, and I told her that she should come check it out, and I think that apiary likes rainbows, but like, who doesn't? Who like hate? Like, is anybody sitting there going like, "Man, I hate rainbows"? Sandwich Mount, yes. So, you guys actually showed up. I'm just kind of tidying up my area. You showed up at a good time because you missed all the boring stuff, and now you get to see all the fun stuff of some guy fumbling around his keycaps. So I'm just gonna move this off my desk. But how was the stream? I got to check in for a little bit, as I enjoy watching apiary stream, but I don't always get the most time in the world to watch it. Oh! Stream. I almost dropped my soldering iron in my lap. How shitty would that be? So, almost sent myself to the hospital for burning a hole in my leg, but we're good. Have you seen G&K Earth Tones? Throw a link in the chat. Let's find out. I have not. I don't think I've seen it. I'm bad with keeping up on group buys. I used to be really good, but now there's so many. Exclamation point music. So this is all stream beats from Harris Heller. So just look up Harris Heller. This song specifically is Summer Night Walk by Harris Heller. So Harris Heller's a good man. He's good. Yeah, he's chill. He can be a little uppity sometimes, but like, it's kind of one of those, like, he's good at what he does and he knows he's good at what it does, and he doesn't need to apologize for that, right? So that is cool. I dig that. That is a set I am interested in. Zion Sped. I don't know who you are, but you're chill. I like there are two different novelty sets for different feels. I dig that. I'm all about that. Fred Doubleshot, thank you for the follow. The Kevin Malone, thank you for the follow. Grailed Cheese. I wish it was the Kevin Malone. Harris Heller at least won't claim his music. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason he made it, right? He made this playlist so people wouldn't get hit with anything. A third ball injury. I don't need a third one. I'm running out of them. So, which web can I attend group buy or buy stock in EU? I have no idea. Girlfriend would make me buy one, and I got no idea where to get one of those. This is SMKeyboards. I don't know how willing he is. Maybe I'll talk him into doing like a group buy for Rainbow, right? Like, talk him into doing like run 10 of these, not with the unicorn, so that she can maybe do the reverse colorway, right, where it's red down. So I don't want to take away the specialness of my wife's board, but also like rainbows are awesome. So now we're just going to place this in here and get everything aligned. This can be a little tricky. I mean, it's not like, you know, once again, if you can put together IKEA stuff, you can put this together, but just, you know, take your time with it, right? Oh, there's a problem. Didn't think about that. Boom! Scuff stream. So, I've got to fix this, which means that this is probably going to have to come over some. For those who didn't know, like, this plate was kind of goofy and it wouldn't fit the 7U. So, I mean, this will take 2 minutes. Of course, it's after I turn my soldering iron off. But a quick fix. I just have to figure out the bottom row situation. So I need to like look up a picture of this PCB because I don't remember it, and no, I don't have a way of typing. Here, chat. Someone type in KBD fan, or I can go to KBD fan. Someone type in KBD 67 so I can copy paste into their search bar. Mez Draven, you the realist. Because I don't have PCB in here. Let's see. I think this is it. Oh, it's two 1.25s. Okay. I'm just dumb. Alright, well. Not a problem. It's a quick fix. So at least all the people from Apiary got to witness me screw up. So, but yeah, like the plate on this thing was kind of goofy, and it was just kind of goofy, and it didn't allow for the 7U spacebar to work. So it just strange. I hadn't seen something like that happen. I was a little worried when I first saw it, but I never tested it, which is my fault. So maybe, you know, kind of test your plates and stuff to make sure everything is good and aligned properly. For those who don't know, this is like a Weller desoldering iron. I wouldn't recommend this. Honestly, I mean, if you already have like a desolder gun, this is fine, because this is good for like 1 or 2 switches, and it's pretty inexpensive. I would get the God, what's it called? It's like the Engineer SS something. That's a really, really good one. Mine broke. I just slammed it into a drawer. Rebrand. Yeah, there's like 6 different of these. That just literally, this is a sticker that I'm sure I could just pull off. They're fine for the fixing for something like this, where I'm like, oh, I just need to pop 2 switches out real quick. I would not desolder with this. I would go crazy. And the irony is, I'm pretty sure this desoldering thing just like broke. Man. I think I need to clean it. Ugh. Hello, how are you? TXRNXR. What's up, man? I'm good. How are you? Just dealing with a stream where everything that can go wrong is going wrong. But that's all good, because you just don't stop, right? You just keep going. Things get better. Whew, haven't cleaned this in a hot minute. That is probably why. Murphy's Law is pain. It is, man. It really is. But shit goes wrong. I built, quite a few boards, and this is not the first time I've had a problem. This will not be the last time that I have had a problem. You just persevere. While you have it apart, you might as well stretch the spring too. Yeah. Oh, do you have to like stretch it? Oh, Tempest. Oh, I imagine you just do this. I would ask why, but I feel like I just assume it's just so the spring is more intense whenever you put it back in. Working better. I feel like the stream title should just be "Now Back to the Build," because that's what it's kind of felt like. I decided 15 boards with the same pump because the pump stock sucks balls. Yeah. I used to do the hand pump and it sucked. And then Osiris and I got a desoldering, and we used to borrow one, and then we got one. And life has been good since. And we just share one. I would recommend, if you live near someone who's a keyboard enthusiast and you guys both like soldering and desoldering boards, I would recommend getting one because they are like magic. Almost done getting all the solder out of this bad boy. And now there it is. And this one doesn't want to come out. Where is it? Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how many boards I've desoldered, but I don't know if it's quite 15. I think the worst one, I desoldered a 75% with a hand pump, and I think it took me a total of like 3 hours. And I ruined a pad, which was really annoying. And back then, I didn't know that it was actually a really easy fix. Oh my god. What is happening? But it's a really easy fix to do if you know what you're doing. But I did not know what I was doing. Therein laid the problem. And this on. I think that should be the spacing. Nope, it is not. Because if you like lift a pad or something, it might not look super duper clean, but the good part is it's very easy to fix a lifted pad, and it's easy to solder from one diode to the other. It just doesn't look that great. It's not the most satisfying thing in the world to look at. So I would just recommend not worrying about it, especially if it's like a aluminum case. Just go for it. If the PCB screw, don't sit there and try. If it's a polycarbonate, even on polycarb, honestly, there's not a lot of you're not gonna really see it a whole lot. I mean, it's kind of like, how often are you going to be looking at the bottom of the board if it's polycarb? Or, unless you point it out, most people are not going to I know if I'm looking at a build, I'm not flipping it over and inspecting what the PCB looks like on any board. So before We put the iron up. Let's make sure it looks like it fits. So we finally accomplished our goal. And we can move on, and I can get my wife this dope board. I feel bad. I feel like I'm just torturing her with every second. This takes longer and longer. I think bodges are an aesthetic. And we can start screwing this thing together. Yes, I'm aware also that these keycaps are not in the right place. I was just going for spacing. Where is the GMK Hander Bite? I don't own it. You know what's funny is my wife actually likes it, and I get it because she likes colorful things. And now I'm kind of like, maybe I should start looking for it. Hello, sorry I'm late. How's it going? Jedi Junior, what's up? What's up, guys? Jedi Junior, just remember her name. That's what I'll say. That's all I'll say. Next big streamer, calling it now. Remember her name. She's gonna be dope. Jedi Junior, how are you doing? I'm doing everything I can to make this board the most difficult build possible. So that's how I'm doing. No, and I want people to know this is not this is all me not doing things the way I should have been doing them. This is nothing against SMKeyboards, as he made a great board. The plate is a situation that I just need to talk to him about and talk to Laser about, because I don't want a new plate because I don't want to desolder this. I think it will be fine. This is just something that I think needs to be discussed so that other people are not expecting one thing and get the other. So just, I don't, while it's important to critique things, I think that is something that I'm like, hey, this needs to be addressed, right? What were the issues with the plate? So I can show this off a little bit, but this is already, I'm taking this off anyway. Hold on. It was a little strange to see, but when the 7U is in, so the 7U is going to go from this little hole all the way over, and this wouldn't fit. The cutout right here is on this side is just a little bit too far, so it was preventing it from fitting unless I stretched the PCB, which I'm not going to stretch the PCB. So I had to switch it to a 6.25U, which I'm fortunate enough that I had a 6.25U, because a lot of people might be like, it's time to build, and then they don't have that. Most people don't buy, unless you're getting like the C3 or like the whole thing. If you're buying a stab and you're going, okay, well, for this build I need one 7U stab wire, you're not going to buy a 6.25 just in case. You're going to buy exactly what you need. So it's just something to bring up. Hi, I haven't been here in ages, but school had been tough. Well, Luke ate zombie. 1, school might be a little easier if you don't eat zombies. And 2, welcome back. Hopefully you finish strong. That's the important thing, right? Interesting. Yeah, that'd be a huge issue depending on what stabs you have on hand. Yeah, and the worst thing you can do, and I've had this feeling before. I bought KBD fans used to sell 60% plates, and they would the plates would have a 2U left shift or a 2.25U left shift, and you had to remember which one is which, because it wasn't like it was like, do you want a B plate or an A plate? And you had to get the A plate, or maybe B plate. I'm already screwing it up, but you had to like specifically get that one because If you didn't, then you'd get the wrong plate. And so I did that, and I accidentally did that. So I'm like 2/3 of the way through the build, and I'm like, I can't put this keyboard together because I don't have the caps to accommodate it. And I was a bit stressed. I took that personally. So minimal's going on this for right now. I think Midnight Rainbow will probably be on this once it gets in. So excited is this? I don't remember. I'll figure it out later. And then we've got some cool artisans to go on this. Some cool artisans to go on this. Got an A in PE Science, which is like about the bones and body, and I'm only 14. There you go. Well, congrats, man. Bro, your beard is amazing. Thank you. I actually cut it recently. I cut down here, and it took out a lot of the like scraggly length. So, and it just made it look a little cleaner. But thank you. What profile are the keycaps? Because they look cool. This is GMK. This is GMK Minimal. So, a very clean set. I mean, it's white. It's black on white. You can't. To me, this is just a set that you can't go wrong, right? This is technically my set. I'm happy to lend it, as I didn't really have it on a board in a long time, nor have I had the need for it. It's good for builds because it can go on everything, and for right now it's just going to be a great placeholder. If I can get this, just watch me struggle to put a keycap on a Switch. You know, this is a good placeholder, and I didn't have a use for it at the moment, so what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. Except Midnight Rainbow, that's hers. So, it's coming up. And what I kind of like about this is it's like from the top down, perfectly top down, it just kind of looks like white with some purple accents, and then it's like boom, rainbow. Like it's just got a cool little... It's a nice touch. What set is supposed to go on this board? Midnight Rainbow. So hoping that that comes in soon. I think they said February. So I think that'll look real clean. I might even get, what I might do is order a black top so it'll match the black, and then I think that would look really clean. And then if they ever release like daytime rainbow, like high noon rainbow, that would be dope. Where it's midnight, you know, it's white but the alphas are rainbow. I think that would also look good. So there's just so many possibilities. And I can already tell that this board is going to sound great just by the accidental key presses that I have done so far. And yes, I am looking over because I can never ever remember which ones those go in. And good God, I cannot get caps on this board apparently. Sounds like Cool Kids. I think Cool Kids is a little bit more sporadic, right? Cool Kids, and obviously, you know, Cool Kids is not going to be Cool Kids is not going to be as neat as a GMK set. But Cool Kids is not supposed to be neat. It's supposed to be Cool Kids. And Cool Kids aren't neat. We got that. We got our B. So I need a couple more caps. I think we got... So we need a function or super. And we need an escape key. And we need our bottom row caps. So, where am I looking? Here's super. Love a super key. And then we've got function. Where am I looking? We might go function, but once again, that's all going to be her decision once we get this, but we got to put some caps on first. Where are my caps? I feel like am I going crazy? Got function. I feel like there should be like a super of that size or windows, but maybe I'm just crazy. We've got super in, so we've got super in 1.5, but I don't see the 1.25. I haven't made a custom yet. Pretty good idea about stuff. Nice. Thinner lube, maybe one. What was it? Junior, I've never got Holy Pandas because I don't have enough money, but I would say give them a try while we stock. We stock on hot swap board, and then if you think it sounds better lube, probably Cryflex 205. What was the question from Jedi Junior? By the way, I just got my Glorious Pandas. Anyone had experience with them? I'm wondering if they would benefit from broken in before I lube them. I've never felt like you need to break. I think you should break. Personally, I think you should break in switches at the same time as you break in the lube. I don't see a benefit. There's my super key. It was hiding. I don't see a benefit to it, but that is just me. So, all right, got our caps on. So give me just 1 second while I clean up. I've got to grab something from my closet, and then I'll be able to finish this up, get a typing test, and we'll be good to go. No step cap, sad. I mean, it's not for me. It's an easy fix if she wants it differently, but you know, I'm not mad. The one thing I do need to do is get this hair that's stuck in the board. Man, scuffed. We got there, boys. Got the beard hair out. That's the important part. Alright, so let's get some artisans on here first, and then something special at the end, and then typing test. So, good old solidly stacked acrylic, absolutely. So, for those who don't know, I have a small but mighty artisan collection. I like it. So hers, the ones that she really likes, are these desserts. So which one do you want on top? I'll put this on top. We'll go bam. Free Mex on deck DNA with every one, absolutely. So these are, come on. It's just not gonna work now. You're just gonna fail at focusing. There we go. These are the Door Factory dessert ones. They look awesome. They just make me hungry. And yeah, this is the Lurv. I won this. This is the only Lurv I ever really wanted, and I got super lucky and won it. And I'm probably never gonna win anything awesome in the regards of artisans, like ever again. All these are great, but from Prime Caps, it's kind of over at this point. So let me grab something real quick, and then we'll wrap up with a typing test. So I wanted to show off the OG rainbow build for a quick moment, because this is, and it, you know, is this Type-C? Nope, it's MIDI. I'll show it off doubly. It's got box jades in it, super loud. It's still built. I need to rebuild it eventually with something fun in it, but it lights up all rainbow tastical. You don't like Boomins? I do like Boomins. I've got a few. I've got 2. So, but this is like a rainbow cap from Mastrop, but the space bar, which conveniently is 6.25, is just gonna magically go on this board. So while it doesn't look the exact same in color, it's a unicorn rainbow space bar. I mean, how could you get mad at that, right? So it's a unicorn space bar, and you flip it around, you got a unicorn on the bottom. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I think she'll yeah, as that response, I think she's okay with it. So before I do the quick typing test, I want to run through our awesome sponsor, switchmod.net/mechs-on-deck. 4% off of your order. Keep an eye on GMK Muted 2, as that will be launching here next month. You can go to Project Keyboards at mechs-on-deck.project.link, and you will be able to and just keep an eye out. They've got a couple sets coming relatively soon, and then keep an eye out for like the Sirius. The Sirius is a fantastic board, so you can head to mechs-on-deck.dixiemech.com. The Think Caps are wrapping up very soon, and then 8008-2 is coming out very soon as well. And then so keep an eye out on that, as well as grab some desk mats. And then as well as Cannon Keys, you can go to cannonkeys.com/mechs-on-deck. GMK Pink on Navy is out there. That Pink on Navy desk mat is amazing. They've got the lilac linear switches, the mauve linear switches are out now, some keyboard cases. So fantastic stuff there, as well as our awesome partners. So Zap Cables, they make the best cables in the business. This is the one that I use every day. Typebeast, typebea.st has got an amazing newsletter, so be sure to subscribe to that to keep up to date. And Smith and Rune, go to smithrune.com. They've got awesome merch and stuff like that. And keep your ears to the ground for Iron 180 extras that will be coming in a few months. So let's mute sound. We're going to mute sound. I'm going to unplug the keyboard because it works, but I don't need to type anything. And I don't want to like shut the stream down. And we're going to listen to how this sounds. So one more time, this is on an IKEA countertop, 1 desk mat. This is stacked acrylic and a brass plate. Holy Pandas, 74 grams, lubed with 3204. This is through a dynamic microphone. It's going to be about my fist away from the keyboard. I don't know. Here's a Nanch set. That's how big it is. So here it is. Well, okay, hold on. I want my wife to type the first sentence on this board before I do anything. She's got a big grin, so I think she's happy with it. So let's get this typing test going.
Howdy.
This thing sounds really good. So, here is your board. Thank you guys for showing up to the stream. How do you make microphone pick up noise? How do you make microphone pickup noise? It sounds good for my voice, but literally ignores my keyboard. I don't know. It could be, thank you. Could be any number of things. I'd have to know like what microphone you're using. I'd have to know what you're using to record it with. There's a multitude of things that it could be to, so I mean, you're more than welcome to PM me. Guys, if you haven't already, join our Discord. And you can, I'm Sir Chewart Little on there. Can we get a wife review of the key? Well, she's typing on it now to do the review. I think we can. I'll make an Instagram post, and we can also have a little more formal review of what she likes about it. And because I need to send my feedback to SMKeyboards as well. I think it looks great. I think it looks really, really cool. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you Apiary for the raid. Thank you SMKeyboards for making a great board. And let's see who we're going to throw this raid at now. So next week we've got we're either going to have Andy Wynn or someone else on. We're going to have Andy Wynn in the next 2 weeks. There could be a scheduling mix up here soon with just something I can't talk too much about. But then, of course, continue to vote. We're actually going to announce the top 16 in our Mechs on Deck. And on Tuesday, we'll announce the top 16 with the seedings and everything. So keep voting on our Discord for the Keyboard of the Week. And thank you guys very much for tuning in. I think it looks like Mech Merlin is live. Is anybody else that have Epsilon Keyboards? Dr. Huru. Let's do Merlin. We haven't hit up Merlin in a hot minute. So let's hit raid, Mech Merlin, start raid. So guys, Mech Merlin, good friend, hung out with him a lot at NorCal meetup. He's does invaluable, like amazing work for the hobby in regards to QMK. So thank you everyone for swinging by, and you guys enjoy the magical Mr. Merlin. Thank you. Buy a Switch tester.